If there's one thing that we can all agree upon is that this country is quickly devolving into a mess of anger and division and confusion. And many loud voices on both ends of the spectrum that are causing this confusion. But there's one thing that can cut through all of that, and that is the truth. What is the truth? And if you are a person that decides that you want to pursue truth no matter where that brings you, then there's hope for us. But if not, then there's a problem. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Kwam Teasy with the Christocrats and the Red Pill Reality, here with another video of current events from a Christian perspective, as a Christocrat, as someone who puts the precepts and the wisdom of God above your own emotions and feelings and opinions. And kind of a thing that's a terrible thing that's happening. Mollie Tibbets, we all have heard about her. This woman that was jogging and just disappeared, and out that she was murdered by a man, and that he would not have even been here had our immigration laws been enforced. He wouldn't even been here to murder her. And then the other side is trying to blame all of manhood. I don't understand that. But so what one side is saying is that, because he was an illegal immigrant. And what's crazy about how the news it always covers this is they always call illegal immigrants undocumented immigrants. They're playing with words, and they're playing with words so it doesn't make it sound so bad as to what it really is. But if you look up the statistics, the actual statistics of how many illegal aliens actually commit crimes when they come over here, it's astounding. I dare you to look it up. Look it up to see how many illegal immigrants, not even immigrants, but illegal aliens come here and do terrible crimes. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them do. You can't get around truth. The truth is what will set us free. We as people worry so much about division and worry so much about getting to solutions, but there will be no solutions if the two sides won't agree on what is truth. If you can't agree on truth and you say that is not what it is, then we can't come to the table. We can't agree. And I'm not going to expect you to agree because you don't want to hold to what truth is. The truth of the matter is that a lot of these people that come over here are coming over here illegally, breaking the law, and then they get caught, sent back, to come back. Caught, sent back, come back. Or if they even get sent back at all. And then a lot of them are committing crimes, and I heard that they are actually about to release this dude. But the problem is we got another side of the coin saying, no, that's not the problem. The problem is toxic masculinity. So it's toxic masculinity that caused him to murder this woman, and not the fact that he was here as an illegal alien. Now, this dude probably had issues and problems. And the reason why we want people to come here and assimilate to our culture is that we don't do things the way certain other places do things. That's just a fact. We, better, worse, whatever. You come over here and assimilate. It's not kosher to just run up alongside somebody and start talking to them and think you have the privilege to just talk to a woman just because you want to. And when she says she's going to call the cops, then you black out and you murder her. This guy obviously has some mental issues, has some issues. Evil. He's influenced by evil. And so it's not toxic masculinity, it's toxic evil. But the left does not want to say that. It's evil. So since you can't legislate evil out of people, you can put up barriers to protect yourself as much as you can from it, i.e. Enforcing our immigration laws. That's one of the barriers that we can put up to protect our way of life, so that people come in the right way and assimilate. We do need to make the process easier, but it is not about toxic masculinity. It's about because you cannot legislate out evil. And that's the thing that the left does not get. You cannot vote out evil. You cannot protest out evil enough, because people have evil in their hearts. And if it's in their heart to do it, it doesn't matter if you protest so you have to put up barriers that can stop them as much as possible from things happening. You're not going to stop it from everything from happening, but you can put up parameters that will stop. You know, if this guy had toxic masculinity in him, he was going to do it. No one could stop him. He's not going to have a sign on him saying, "I'm a toxic male. Stop me from doing it." You couldn't tell. You wouldn't be able to tell. He looked like a normal dude. It was in here and what's in his heart. So you need to put up barriers. So the truth is that if he wasn't here, then it wouldn't happen. If he wasn't here, then it wouldn't happen. Another truth that we need to acknowledge is, I don't know if you guys have heard, but here in Georgia, literally up the road from me, the superintendent, what's his name? I forgot what his name is. Hamby or something. I forgot what his name is, but you can look it up. The superintendent of schools for Beaufort Schools was recorded spewing this unbelievably racist rants. And we as conservatives are quick to call out everything else, and we're quick to say when people are race baiting, but we also need to legitimize what we say. We also need to be quick to call out when things are actually racist. And the people that I know that are conservative are actually doing that. And if you go and listen to this rant that was recorded, whoo, this boy was throwing the N-word around like it was nothing. Now, I'm all for freedom of speech. I don't care what kind of speech it is. You have freedom of speech. You have free to speak. But the way that he was using this word, you can tell that he uses it all the time. And the manner that he was using it was indicated what he thinks of black people. And he's, as a superintendent of education of schools, that indicates how he will treat other kids based on their race. So this is a spot where he will not be able to do his job indiscriminately, and he needs to be fired. And he's getting paid $300K a year. Now, if you go listen, I'm not exaggerating at all. If you go listen to the tape, you'll be like, "What in the heck?" Like, this dude was real racist, man, real racist. You know, again, he can be free to say whatever he wants to say in the privacy of his own home when it doesn't affect something that important as a kid's education. But you know, he was free. He said, but he was just letting it fly. And in the way he said it was the Beaufort superintendent in Georgia, Beaufort, Georgia. Look it up, listen to it. Don't let your kids hear it because it's laced with very bad profanity, and he uses the N-word. He calls people I forgot what he said, but just look it up. It's very bad. But the truth on that is that that's evil. That was evil. That racism is evil, and we cannot stop people from being evil, but we can be educated about it. We can talk about it, and the only cure for all of this stuff is the actual cure is to one-on-one each person who knows better to love and to exemplify the truth, to speak truth in love so that you can change your sphere of influence. You know, don't focus on trying to change the whole world. It's too much of a chunk to bite off. But if you can worry about you living out the truth, not your truth, but living out the truth, then and loving people into the kingdom and being a kingdom representative, then, you know, things will happen and things will change. So it's crazy. Go check those stories out. Tell me what you think about those stories. You know, we need to be assessing these issues that come up correctly. We need to make sure that we're coming up with the right conclusions based on what the Word of God says as Christians, as Christocrats, and as conservatives. So I want you guys to check those things out. Tell me what your opinion is on those things. The solution is for us to live in truth, and the bad news is that our country and other world, as long as it's ran by sinners, it's going to run itself into the ground. The good news is that you and I are believers, and we have a greater hope that's outside of this world, and we can influence others for good to the truth, but we cannot be afraid to speak it. You know, this Mollie tibbets thing, the real truth is that she would be alive if that guy wasn't here in the country and would have been deported like he's supposed to be. The truth is on this superintendent is that it was actual racism. there's such thing as racism that does happen, and he was caught in it, and he should be fired. Those are the truths. You have the answer. I have the answer. Remember, we are not affiliated, and we're not pledge our allegiance to a left or right. We're not a Republican. We're not Democrats. We are for the truth, as laid out in the Word of God. So, love God, hate sin. Make sure you like, subscribe, share these videos. We're going to be probably doing a podcast. Y'all tell me if you would appreciate hearing a podcast called The Solution, and talking about all things that we talk about here, but maybe having more time to talk things out and have some guest, people on and all that. So we're just kicking around some of those ideas. Let's get us up to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this month. That would be awesome, and I will have some great things planned for y'all. Be on the lookout for everything. We love you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for the comments. Leave a comment in the comment section. Like, subscribe, pass it along, get the word out. Be courageous. Love God, hate sin. Remember, we're not left, we're not right, but up. That's what this channel is about, and kind of keeping you informed and giving you information on how to deal with these things, these subjects that come up. So what's crazy,